Well, Sagittarius, welcome to your September reading. Your cards are on the table. We're going to go over them, and then I'm going to tell you the gist of what we're getting into today. So we have Angel helping those in need with no expectation in return. Distorted perceptions. Reality is rarely what we are raised to believe it is. Action. Waterfall effortless. The healing light. Rain purification and taking steps smudging ceremony. Okay, let me get comfortable here. Okay. Um you are a nice person. Regardless of if you're keeping it a secret or it's out in the open, inside you're a good person. And you want the best for people, so much so that you tend to help people or integrate yourself in their problems or issues to help resolve it, if not resolve it for them. Okay. I'm getting the vibe that usually you don't get that back in some capacity. Like your expectation of what you should receive is typically not the same. Okay. All right. Um I feel like you have been going about this for a long time in different genres, in different ways, different expectations, but relatively, here's the story. All right. Um, and it's become sort of a way of being, like a way, like your way of doing things. And you've been let down quite a bit. Okay. So moving forward, you want that to change. Okay. Um, it's weird because you still want to be a good person, but at the same time, you know that there has to be a change to how these outcomes are coming towards you. So you don't want to shut down and be a mean person. It's not in your nature. And you don't want to keep putting yourself in situations where you you get hurt or you don't get what is expected, like the desired outcome. So you're learning about boundaries and what, when to help, when not to help, when to pull back, when not to pull back. Okay. Also, I get that you're working on yourself. So you're stepping more into yourself, whether you're coming up with some sort of workout plan or self care regimen or whatever it is. Okay. You're focusing more on yourself. I feel like this keeps you more busy up here so you don't focus so much on everyone else. But I don't feel like you're not being helpful and you're not being kind anymore. No. But you're focusing more on you so you have less time, less energy to put so much on other people's issues or situations. Okay? So let's get into your cards. Okay, we have the Hangman, Strength, and the Sun. Wow, three major arcana right off the back, huh? That don't surprise me, Sagittarius. Okay. Eight of Cups, Four of Swords, Four of Cups, Temperance, Wheel of Fortune, Two of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, the World card, and the Eight of Wands. Yeah, September is definitely you focusing on yourself. You know, you're a strong, stable individual, and I just feel like you want to just deflect that energy that you spend on other things on yourself. I just get that vibe, you know. Um, I feel like you're ready to start sort of a new cycle in your life. As my mom calls it, it's like a 7 year itch. She calls it where everything in your life tends to change in a 7 year cycle. Um, I think you're just ready for change. So you can sort of like break free and go a different route. It's kind of like, oh, this is how my life was. You're breaking through that to this new life, you know, kind of like a rebirth, sort of. So, yeah, you're definitely taking a rest from being everybody's strength, or what you perceive as being everybody's strength, or being everybody's go-to person, or maybe you've been at a job that you don't really want to do, but at the time you were like, oh, I'm just about making a whole bunch of money, but now you want to be happy and have a career, whatever that is, you know. um I just feel like you're ready for something new and ready to sorry and ready to experience something new. So this is the direction that you're going in. Which, whether or not you want to create change, you are creating change in your life, and it's a good change. Okay, I need to elaborate. It's a good change. Okay, so okay, you're gonna spend at least the beginning of September watching. It gives me the vibe of like sitting in the corner and just watching what's going on. So you're gonna be paying attention to how things are unfolding, or what's going on in your present experience. um it's like you're kind of taking a step back to evaluate. It may be that you're feeling, I wouldn't say a little down, maybe, I would say a little quiet. Like you're not as confident and loud and stepping in front of everyone as you usually are. And it's making you more perceptive, right? You're just withdrawing, I would say. Okay. Um, and you're in your head. You may be having trouble sleeping or thinking about stuff at night. I would say this is going to be the catalyst for the rest of September. Okay. Is you feeling this way, or like sort of being in your head about things. So while you're spending time with yourself, you do have some epiphanies, I do see. I do see that you start to focus on things that are bothering you, or repetitive. You're going to have some repetitive thoughts. So those repetitive thoughts you're focusing in on, right? Like, why can I not get past these repetitive thoughts or these repetitive situations in my life? Like, why is that happening? It's sort of like putting a spotlight on things that have been issues, or things you would like to change, whether consciously or subconsciously. I see that you are definitely patient with those that you love and those that you care about. You give them a lot, okay? You give them a lot of your time and your energy. And I just feel like there are times, if not now, that you need that sort of connection or love or care back. And I, I don't see you getting it. I don't see you getting it back. Um, and I feel like this is the catalyst, really. Like all of this is happening is creating this catalyst. I'm hearing like, how am I living my life? What is this path? What did I choose? Who are these friends? What is this situation? Type of thing. So, from all the things that you have perceived in your quiet time and quiet space and observation, I feel like you are, it's like paired with what you notice and paired with what you want to change and constants that you see in your life, you're taking steps and making choices. And I don't feel like it's easy to do. Okay, let's get in there some more. Yeah, I see that you're definitely noticing some misfortunes in your life, like some things that haven't went well. It could be that you were waiting on someone or waiting for a situation to change or waiting for a person to change. And you're seeing that waiting is you've passed having faith for something, and now you're into like obsessive waiting, or like it's getting foolish. Okay. So it's past the faith part and more into, oh, I need to make some adjustments or I need to pay attention to what's happening here. Like this is throwing up a red flag for me. So you've decided to walk away from it, and distance yourself from it. And in that distance, you're seeing that you need to take some action, right? So, yeah, once you distance yourself from something or stop doing something, I feel like you get a clearer picture of what's going on. Um, and you're like, oh my God, I need to look at this in a different perspective, right? Or I can't believe I was, so you're shifting between, oh my God, I can't believe I let myself get in this situation or be like this, and what should I do next? Oh, I'm mad. Oh, but I should be grateful. It feels like a lot of that going on. So once you get that together, once you get that together, I see you being more confident about being there for yourself and spending time with yourself and being strong for yourself. So I feel like you take a rest from environmental or things that are outside of you for a moment and just sort of focus on yourself. Um yeah, the control right now is with you. It's not with anything else. So I see you just taking control of how you choose to give your time and energy and focus. And this is not negative by any means, Sagittarius. I do want to point out, I feel like this is a happy moment. I feel like this is a happy time. I feel like you're not searching for love and happiness outside of yourself. You're more like gathering that happiness, independence within yourself. Um, yeah, and it feels like you can agree that that's what you were missing. Not that you've never done it in your life, but sometimes we get so focused on something outside of us that we have to step back within ourselves. And I feel like this refreshes you by focusing on yourself and working on yourself and whatever that is, right? It could be something as simple as an exercise regimen, right? Self-care, a face routine, you know. It could be something that simple. But you're seeing how important balance is, right? So now that you have gotten back, kind of like snapped back to your self reality, um, you're using that to move forward. And it's the best thing that you could have done for yourself. It's you just like need to take a break, and put all that love and care that you put into other people and other situations into yourself for a moment. Yeah, it's funny because it feels like you lost your voice for a minute, you know, like your authentic voice. Like you lost it for a second, just a moment. Not like you've been in it for years, but and you need to get back to it. You know, it's like I didn't spend time like cultivating myself, and I'm seeing it. So now I'm getting back to cultivating and nurturing myself. So I feel like you've made that decision to be sort of your own advocate for the moment, if not for the while, for a while, but at least right now, you've chosen to be your own advocate. And it's okay. You know, it's like we all know that from time to time we can make mistakes or we can fall short or fall into something else, and it doesn't mean anything bad. You don't you don't not care about other people. You don't not care about the world, but you just need to take a break and focus on yourself, and that's fine. So you're deflecting like your attention on other things back onto yourself, and that's how you're communicating with the world, like showing the world like I'm also important, I'm special, I need this time. Yeah, your life is changing, things are turning around for you. It's like you're connecting back with yourself spiritually and what you need mentally and spiritually. I also see you standing up for yourself at work. There's some situation at work where you're just kind of like accepting a situation, and I see you getting clear on the fact that you need to stand up for yourself or stand out in some way, right? Like not go with the flow would be like, I don't think that's a good idea. You know, I just see you standing up for yourself. Because you see that in the past that's what you've done, and consistently kind of dug you in a hole where you just felt trapped, and now I feel like you're ready to get yourself out of that hole, because if you don't, you feel like you're just stagnant, you know. I don't see you like going crazy, okay, but I see you paying attention to the situation and knowing exactly when to integrate your perspective or your voice on things. I don't feel like you're just randomly saying what you feel at the time you feel like you need to. You're definitely smart about doing it. Okay. Oh, interesting. You're letting go of a negative thought pattern you had about love or possibly a negative person. Okay. There's this idea that like I'll wait on this person or this certain idea, and waiting kind of leaves you stagnant in that area, right? And that's why I said there's this idea of like too much faith, and it's getting sort of like not helpful because there's too much, like obsessive almost. Um, it's your love is not reciprocated in the way that it should be. Have faith that it can be at some time. It's just not this situation. It's basically like letting go of the lie. Okay. This is just not the situation. This is not the person. Okay. That's not what you need. That's not respectful of you as an individual. Okay. Let's see, spirit advice. Sagittarius. Interesting, because I usually don't get this with the card, but I feel like if you don't be authentic in your actions and your speech, um, how will things line up for you? So they're showing me this like image of energy. Okay, so it's like to get the energy to come your way, you have to be releasing a signal that attracts that energy. And if you're not being authentic or in your authentic space, you don't attract that wavelength towards yourself, that energy. Okay. Um, and that's the best thing you can do with yourself, for yourself, to get the universe, the world, other people to work with you within your energy that's true to you. Yeah, you're definitely changing your perception on love. Yeah, don't feel bad or feel like you're giving up on someone or giving up on a situation. You're not. You just know what you deserve, and it's that simple. Okay? Don't feel bad. All right? So I love you, Sagittarius, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.